Let me ask you a question. How many of you want to be wealthy? Now, I'm not just talking about money in the bank. I'm talking about the ability to live life on your terms, to provide for your family, to create impact, and to walk in freedom. Most people say they want wealth, but here's the problem. They don't have the mindset for it. You see, your bank account is a direct reflection of your belief account. If your mind is broke, your money will follow. If your mindset is small, your opportunities will shrink to match it. Your mindset creates your money set. Let that sink in for a moment. Because here's the truth. Your money will never grow beyond the limits of your thinking. If your mind is broke, your money will stay broke. If your mind is stretched, your money will expand to match it. That's why two people can be given the exact same opportunity, and one turns it into millions while the other barely survives. It's not the opportunity that makes the difference. It's the mindset behind it. Most people believe money is the result of hard work alone. They think if they just grind harder, longer, faster, they'll create wealth. But the reality is, you cannot outwork a broken mindset. You can only outgrow it. Because wealth is not created by labor, it's created by leverage. And leverage only comes when you think differently about time, value, and opportunity. Poor thinking says, I need to work more hours. Wealth thinking says, how can I multiply this hour to make it worth more? Here's a hook for you. You don't get paid by the hour. You get paid by the value you bring to the hour. That's why someone makes 15 an hour and someone else makes a 15,000 in the same hour. It's not the clock that changed. It's the mindset behind the work. Until you upgrade your mind, your money will always stay capped. Think about it this way. If you pour water into a small cup, it can only hold so much before it spills over. The cup is your mind. The water is money. If your mental cup is small, no matter how much money you try to pour in, it won't stay. You'll find a way to lose it, waste it, or blow it because your mindset can't contain it. That's why so many people win the lottery and end up broke within a few years. They had money in their hands, but poverty in their heads. If you want to change your financial life, you don't start with money, you start with mindset. Ask yourself, what do I believe about wealth? Do I believe money is evil, or do I believe money is a tool for impact? Do I believe I have to sacrifice my life to get ahead, or do I believe I can create systems that work while I rest? Your beliefs are the thermostat of your finances. If your internal temperature is set to struggle, even when you make more money, you'll unconsciously bring yourself back down to what feels comfortable. Here's another hook for you. Wealth is not what you pursue. Wealth is what you attract by the person you become. And the person you become is shaped by how you think. If you think like a consumer, you'll always spend more than you earn. If you think like a creator, you'll always find ways to produce more value than you consume. The poor ask, can I afford this? The wealthy ask, how can I afford this? One question closes the door, the other opens possibilities. Your money set is a mirror. It reflects your discipline, your vision, and your capacity to grow. If you don't like the reflection, don't smash the mirror, change the image. That means challenging your old beliefs, replacing them with new ones, and surrounding yourself with people who think bigger than you do. Because here's the truth. Your income will rarely exceed the average income of your 5 closest friends. If you want to elevate your money set, elevate your circle. The shift begins the moment you decide to take full ownership of your financial reality. Stop blaming your past, your job, your boss, or the economy. Start asking yourself, what must I change in my thinking to create a different result? Because the moment you shift your mindset, you shift your money set. And when that happens, wealth stops being something you chase. It becomes something you naturally attract. Wealth operates by laws, not luck. That statement alone can change the way you look at money forever. Most people live their entire lives believing wealth is about being in the right place at the right time, being born into the right family, or getting lucky breaks. But here's the reality: luck is unpredictable, but laws are reliable. Gravity doesn't care if you're rich or poor, young or old. If you step off a building, you're going down. The law works whether you understand it or not. Wealth works exactly the same way. There are laws that govern increase. And if you learn them, apply them, and respect them, wealth becomes inevitable. Here's the hook: wealth is not about chance, it's about choice. And those choices are built on principles. The reason wealthy people continue to multiply their money while others struggle to get ahead is because they understand the rules of the game. While most people are playing blindfolded, you can't win a game when you don't even know the rules. Too many people are working hard, grinding, hustling, but they're violating the very laws that create wealth. That's like trying to plant corn and expecting apples. The law of sowing and reaping doesn't bend for emotions. It produces after its kind. One of the laws of wealth is the law of value. Money flows to value, not effort. That's why a doctor can make in 1 hour what another person makes in a week. The law rewards the level of value being delivered, not the sweat poured out. If you want more income, you have to increase your impact. That means growing your skills, sharpening your gifts, and positioning yourself where your value solves big problems for people who can afford to pay for the solution. Here's another hook. Money doesn't chase people, it chases purpose. When you attach your skills and your work to purpose, you attract opportunities that multiply. The law of purpose is clear. People are drawn to those who serve with excellence. And that law doesn't fail. If you serve enough people, if you solve enough problems, if you stay consistent with your value, wealth is the natural byproduct. Another law is the law of multiplication. Poor thinking says, I need to add a little more money here and there. Wealth thinking says, how can I multiply what I have? When you put money in a bank account and let it sit, it doesn't multiply, it deteriorates because of inflation. But when you invest money according to the law of multiplication into assets, into businesses, into opportunities that grow, you're aligning with the law. And that's why wealthy people keep getting wealthier. They respect multiplication while others settle for addition. But let's talk about the law of stewardship. If you can't manage a little, you'll never manage a lot. People pray for millions when they can't even manage hundreds. The law says that faithfulness over small things is the key to being trusted with greater things. If your current money is slipping through your fingers, more money will only magnify the problem. Wealth is not just about accumulation, it's about administration. The better you steward, the more capacity you create for increase. And here's a big hook: money follows order, not chaos. Wealthy people structure their finances, track their resources, and make intentional decisions. People struggling financially are often living by reaction instead of by design. The law of order ensures that when you plan, when you allocate, when you prioritize, your resources work for you instead of against you. So wealth doesn't come by accident, and it doesn't come by wishing. It comes by understanding and aligning with principles that work for everyone, every time, everywhere. The moment you stop waiting for luck and start working the laws, your financial reality begins to shift. And just like gravity, It doesn't matter who you are. Once you activate the laws, they will pull you in the direction of increase. Poverty is not the absence of money, it is the absence of vision. That one shift in perspective can change everything about how you see your future. Most people believe they're broke because they don't have enough money. But the truth is, money is only the fruit. Vision is the root. If your vision is small, your results will always be limited. A person without vision can win the lottery, inherit a fortune, or get the biggest paycheck of their life, and within a few short years, they'll be right back where they started. Why? Because vision sustains wealth long after money arrives. Here's the hook. Money follows vision, not the other way around. If you're chasing money without a vision, you'll always end up exhausted, frustrated, and empty-handed. But if you have a clear vision, money starts chasing you. People with vision attract opportunities, investors, partnerships, and resources because others can see the direction they're headed and want to be part of it. A vision is a magnet, and wealth is drawn to clarity. Think about it. Poor thinking says, how much does it cost? Wealth thinking says, how much can it create? That simple question separates those who stay stuck from those who break free. When someone without vision sees a challenge, they see expense. When someone with vision sees the same challenge, they see investment. One mindset kills possibilities, the other multiplies them. Wealth is not about how much you keep in your pocket today. It's about how much you can create for tomorrow. Here's another hook. If your dream doesn't scare your budget, it's too small. Vision stretches you beyond what you currently have, and that stretch is what forces you to grow. People who focus only on what they can afford will always live beneath what they're capable of. Vision says, I may not have the resources yet, but I'll find a way. And that determination is what opens doors. Money is limited, but vision is limitless. Money can run out, but vision will always attract more. Most people don't fail because of a lack of money. They fail because of a lack of imagination. They cannot see themselves wealthy, so they subconsciously sabotage their progress. They cannot picture themselves successful, so they settle for average. Vision is the ability to see beyond your current reality and pull the future into the present. It is a picture of possibility that guides your decisions, fuels your persistence, and keeps you moving forward when money is tight. Here's the reality. Money in the hands of someone without vision is dangerous. They spend it recklessly, chase after every shiny object, and end up with nothing to show for it. But money in the hands of someone with vision is powerful. They multiply it, direct it, and use it to build something that outlasts them. That's why wealthy people don't just think about what something costs. They think about what it makes possible. If you want to elevate your life, don't ask for more money, ask for more vision. Because when your vision expands, your habits change, your confidence grows, and your creativity ignites. Suddenly, opportunities that seemed invisible appear right in front of you. Vision trains your eyes to see what others overlook. Where most see problems, vision sees potential. Where most see obstacles, vision sees stepping stones. Here's the final hook. You don't live at the level of your income. You live at the level of your vision. If your vision is small, your life will always feel small, no matter how much money you make. But if your vision is great, your life expands to meet it. Poverty is not about the number in your bank account. It's about the number of possibilities you can see with your mind. And when you enlarge that vision, you enlarge your wealth, your opportunities, and your future. Fear is the enemy of fortune. That simple truth explains why so many talented, capable, And even brilliant people never achieve the level of success they were designed for. Fear is a thief, and it steals dreams before they even have a chance to live. People think they are being cautious, careful, or wise, but in reality, fear is disguising itself as logic, holding them back from opportunities that could change everything. Fear whispers, "What if you fail?" And in listening, most people never even take the first step. But here's the hook. The greatest risk is not trying and failing. The greatest risk is failing to try at all. Most people never build wealth because they fear loss. They're so worried about losing money that they never put it to work. They fear rejection, so they never ask for the sale, never make the call, never pitch the idea. They fear failure, so they stay in their comfort zone, working jobs they hate, living lives that don't inspire them. All because fear told them that average is safer. But the truth is, average is the most dangerous place to live because it costs you your potential. Fear will always magnify the cost of action while blinding you to the cost of inaction. Think about it. The person who refuses to invest because they might lose money is already losing money every day through inflation, missed opportunities, and stagnant growth. The person who never risks embarrassment by speaking up is already silencing their own voice. Fear doesn't protect you, it imprisons you. And fortune only comes to those willing to walk through the door of fear and act anyway. Here's another hook. Fortune favors the bold, not the fearful. Every wealthy person you admire, every entrepreneur you look up to, every innovator who changed the game has one thing in common: they acted in the face of fear. They felt it, but they moved anyway. Fear doesn't disappear before you act. Fear dissolves because you act. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is the decision that something else matters more than fear. The truth is, fear is a liar. It paints pictures of worst-case scenarios that almost never happen. It tells you if you step out, you'll fall. If you speak up, you'll be humiliated. If you invest, you'll go broke. But what fear never shows you is the best-case scenario. What if stepping out creates freedom? What if speaking up opens a door? What if investing multiplies your wealth? Fear keeps you locked in the prison of what if it goes wrong, while fortune lives in the land of what if it goes right. Here's the reality. The people who win in life are not the ones who never feel fear. They're the ones who decide fear won't make their decisions for them. Every breakthrough you want in life is on the other side of something you're afraid to do. And until you face it, you'll never find it. Wealth is not hiding from you. It's waiting for you, right behind that fear you keep avoiding. Fear will always offer you safety, but it's a counterfeit safety. The job that feels secure today can be gone tomorrow. The money you're hoarding in the bank can shrink overnight. The relationship you refuse to risk can wither because of neglect. Fear's safety is an illusion, but faith's action creates true security. Here's the hook. The safest place to be is not in the comfort zone, it's in the growth zone, because growth creates options, and options create freedom. If you want fortune, you have to reframe fear. Instead of asking, what if I fail? Ask, what if I succeed? Instead of focusing on what you could lose, focus on what you could gain. Instead of letting fear stop you, let it signal that you're stepping into new territory, which is exactly where your next level is waiting. Fear is not a stop sign. It's a green light saying, go here, because here lies your destiny. And when you embrace that truth, fortune will no longer feel far away. It will be the natural reward for your boldness. Money is a servant, not a master. That one shift in perspective separates those who are enslaved by money from those who rule over it. Too many people live their lives as if money has power over them. They wake up to chase it. They lose sleep worrying about it. They make every decision based on whether they have enough of it or not. But here's the truth. Money is not a master. It's a tool. It is designed to serve you, not control you. And when you reverse that order, you rob yourself of freedom and step into bondage. Here's the hook. You were never created to work for money. Money was created to work for you. Think about it. When you let money dictate your choices, you'll always feel trapped. You'll stay in jobs you hate because you're afraid of losing the paycheck. You'll compromise your vision because you fear the cost. You'll shrink your dreams down to the size of your bank account instead of stretching your mind to the size of your purpose. But when you put money in its rightful place as a servant, suddenly you're no longer driven by survival, you're driven by vision. Most people have it backwards. They think the goal is to chase money, collect it, and pile it up. But chasing money is like chasing the wind. It will never be enough. The goal is to make money a soldier that goes out, works for you, and brings back more. When money is your servant, every dollar has an assignment. You send it into investments, into opportunities, into ideas, and it comes back multiplied. When money is your master, every dollar has you on a leash, telling you where you can and cannot go, what you can and cannot do. Here's another hook. If you don't learn to master money, money will master you. And money is a cruel master. It doesn't care about your family, your peace, or your purpose. It will drive you into exhaustion, greed, and scarcity. But when you make it your servant, money becomes a partner in your purpose. It becomes fuel for your vision, not a chain around your neck. Wealthy people understand this distinction. They don't just work for money. They create systems, investments, and businesses that make money work for them. That's why they can rest while their money keeps producing. The truth is, money is neutral. It takes on the character of the person who controls it. In the hands of someone ruled by fear, money becomes wasted, hidden, or hoarded. In the hands of someone driven by greed, money becomes destructive. But in the hands of someone with vision and purpose, money becomes powerful. It builds businesses, blesses families, feeds communities, and creates legacies. Money only amplifies who you already are. That's why mastering money starts with mastering yourself. Here's the reality. Money has no mind of its own. It cannot think, it cannot decide, it cannot direct itself. That means every dollar is waiting for you to tell it where to go. If you don't give it a mission, it will find a way to disappear. But if you assign it a purpose, it will grow. When you view money as a servant, you stop asking, do I have enough? And start asking, am I directing it well? The difference is life-changing. Here's the final hook. Freedom doesn't come from how much money you have. Freedom comes from how much control you have over the money you have. I've seen people with little money live in peace and power because they mastered their servant. And I've seen people with millions live in stress and bondage because they were still mastered by it. The amount doesn't determine the freedom. The relationship does. And when you finally put money in its rightful place, not as your master, but as your servant, you unlock the ability to create, to impact, and to live beyond limits. Wealth is about becoming, not just having. That statement alone should shake the way you think about success. Too many people believe wealth is a number in the bank, a car in the driveway, or a title on the door. They chase possessions as proof of prosperity, but the truth is, Real wealth isn't measured by what you collect, it's measured by who you become in the process. Having is temporary, but becoming is permanent. If you want wealth that lasts, you must focus less on acquiring and more on transforming. Here's the hook: money can slip through your fingers, but the person you become can never be taken away. Think about it. Someone can take your job, your business can collapse, the market can crash, but if you've become the kind of person who knows how to create, multiply, and steward wealth, you'll rebuild it again and again. That's why wealthy people can lose millions and still bounce back stronger, while others lose thousands and never recover. It's not because of what they had, it's because of who they had become. Most people focus on the wrong question. They ask, what do I need to get? When the real question is, who do I need to become? The truth is, your current level of income, influence, and impact is in direct proportion to your level of personal growth. If you want more out there, you must become more in here. Wealth doesn't start in your wallet. It starts in your mindset, your character, and your capacity. Here's another hook. Wealth doesn't change you, it reveals you. If you are undisciplined without money, you'll be undisciplined with money. If you are generous without money, you'll be generous with money. Wealth magnifies who you already are. That's why the process of becoming is essential. The grind, the lessons, the failures, and the growth are what shape you into someone who can not only attract wealth, but sustain it. Without becoming, having is dangerous because you'll lose it as fast as you gain it. The real wealth mindset understands that becoming comes before having. You must become disciplined enough to manage money before you have much to manage. You must become wise enough to invest before you have more to invest. You must become courageous enough to take risks before opportunities show up. If you try to skip the process of becoming, you'll sabotage the process of having. That's why so many people get sudden money and end up worse off. They had the having without the becoming. Here's the reality: the journey of becoming wealthy is more valuable than the wealth itself. Because the journey teaches you resilience, problem solving, leadership, vision, and faith. These are qualities that compound just like money. The more you become, the more you can create. And when you focus on becoming, wealth stops being a goal and starts being a byproduct. You don't chase it, you attract it. Here's the final hook. Wealth is not about what you own, it's about what you're willing to grow into. The person you are today can't handle the life you dream about tomorrow. That's why the process is stretching you, challenging you, and sometimes even frustrating you. Because every challenge is shaping you into the person who can handle the wealth waiting on the other side. Stop obsessing over what you don't have and start asking, who am I becoming? Because the greatest wealth you'll ever possess is not in your account, it's in your character. And when you become that person, the having will take care of itself.